How does someone go from TikTok obscurity to interviewing Drake and Offset only to become one of the most criticized podcasters on the internet? Bobbi Althoff's rise and fall is a story about fame, ambition, and the double-edged sword of the internet spotlight. Bobbi's story begins in 2021 when she joined TikTok, making dry, sarcastic videos about being a mother. Her humor was unique, combining awkward pauses with a deadpan delivery that stood out in a sea of over-the-top TikTok personalities. It didn't take long for her to pivot to podcasting, launching the Really Good podcast. Her early episodes captured the same awkward charm, and she quickly found success. Snippets from her first few interviews gained millions of views, and fans praised her for bringing something fresh to the world of celebrity interviews. Then came her breakout moment, a viral episode with comedian Funny Marco. The two seemed like a perfect comedic duo, with viewers calling it cross-cultural awkward humor at its finest. This wasn't just a funny podcast, it felt special, and people wanted more. But Bobbi's real claim to fame came when Drake followed her on Instagram. For a podcaster just getting started, landing one of the biggest celebrities in the world was unheard of. The interview itself was a sensation. It wasn't a traditional celebrity Q&A. It was intimate, relaxed, and funny. Bobbi's calm demeanor next to Champagne Papi made it seem like they were old friends. Viewers couldn't get enough. The episode hit 10 million views in just 2 weeks, adding 700,000 subscribers to Bobbi's channel. But as one tweet put it, Drake giveth and Drake taketh away. While the interview skyrocketed Bobbi's fame, it also set the stage for her downfall. During the Drake interview, Bobbi asked a question that sparked internet speculation. Am I your type? While the moment was playful, it struck a nerve with some viewers. Things escalated when rumors began circulating that Bobbi's interactions with male guests like Drake and Funny Marco were inappropriate, especially given that she was married. The narrative only gained traction when her husband filed for divorce just 6 days after the Drake episode was recorded. To make matters worse, Bobbi admitted she missed her daughter's first birthday to film the podcast with Drake. Critics jumped on this as evidence that she was prioritizing fame over her family. The internet erupted with backlash. Comments flooded her TikTok and Instagram, accusing her of ruining her marriage for clout. On Reddit, conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, with users speculating that Bobbi had an affair with Drake. Things got even messier when Bobbi deleted the Drake episode from her channel and unfollowed him on Instagram. This only fueled the rumors. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy texted Bobbi to ask if the Drake rumors were true. Bobbi denied them, but shared the exchange on her Instagram story, writing, I didn't want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so much negativity is coming from it. Despite her denial, the damage was done. The internet had decided Bobbi Althoff had left her husband for fame. As Bobbi's popularity grew, so did suspicions about how she got there. Critics began to question whether her rise was truly organic. Some pointed to her management company, WME, which also represents many of her high-profile guests. Was Bobbi's success the result of clever marketing rather than genuine talent? Adding fuel to the fire, Bobbi often claimed she was broke, saying she had maxed out credit cards and $20,000 in debt. But skeptics pointed out her extravagant spending habits like $500 sandals and the fact that her ex-husband was a millionaire. Bobbi's troll-like responses to these accusations only added to the perception that she was out of touch. As her reputation started to take a hit, Bobbi's interviews began drawing more criticism. Her awkward humor, once praised, was now being called rude and disrespectful. Her interview with Offset was a turning point. Viewers felt she crossed the line with her dry sarcasm, leading Offset to clap back. You need a little seasoning, you're like a plain piece of chicken. Even Funny Marco, the guest who helped put Bobbi on the map, criticized her newer episodes. He said they felt less like genuine interviews and more like attempts to embarrass her guests. Over time, Bobbi's podcast began losing the magic that made it special. Her once unique style shifted to something more generic. The awkward pauses and deadpan humor were replaced with more traditional interview techniques. Fans noticed the change, and many felt the show had lost its charm. Her episode with Dax Flame, for example, was widely criticized for being less of an interview and more of a roast, with Bobbi accused of bullying her guest. Bobbi also faced scrutiny over her changing appearance. She admitted to getting Botox and fillers, which led to a wave of criticism online. While some fans defended her, others accused her of succumbing to the pressures of fame. Her response? "I'm so tired of people saying I ruined my face. The only thing I've done is a little filler in my upper lip." But her attempts to address the criticism only seemed to invite more backlash. As the controversies piled up, Bobbi's podcast viewership began to decline. Episodes that once garnered millions of views now struggled to gain traction. The shift in her style, combined with the constant drama, left many fans feeling disillusioned. What had once been a refreshing, unique take on celebrity interviews now felt like just another podcast. So here's the million-dollar question. What's next for Bobbi Althoff? Is this the part of the story where she reinvents herself, or is this the final chapter of her 15 minutes of fame? Let's be real. Hollywood loves a good redemption arc, but the internet, not so much. Once people turn on you, it's hard to win them back. Bobbi's faced a storm of criticism from her interview style to her personal life and even her appearance. But does she have what it takes to prove the haters wrong? She's clearly talented. Her rise wasn't a fluke. She tapped into something unique that resonated with millions. But now her next move needs to be her smartest. Maybe it's a complete rebrand. Maybe she leans into the chaos and doubles down on her awkward humor. Or maybe she steps back, regroups, and comes back stronger than ever. What do you think? Does Bobbi have a shot at reclaiming her spot in the spotlight, or has the internet spoken for good? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more breakdowns of Hollywood's biggest stories, because if there's one thing we've learned from Bobbi Althoff, it's this: fame is easy to grab, but almost impossible to hold on to.